take a picture, as it's sure to last longer. We promise to make all of our points count. Joe and Howie break out their new rendition of A Night at the Roxbury. We are about to break through all the best action. Sports Night is next.
We have too much fun. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sportsnight. I'm Joe Young.
Yeah, I'm Howie Shapiro, and I put the im in immature.
I'm not sure where that came from.
I'm not either.
Okay. We've got another short show for you. It's hard to believe that MEA week is next week. I mean,
crazy.
We have 2 football games remaining on the schedule. Soccer team starting playoffs this week. Tennis team was in playoffs last week. Conference championship meet for the cross-country teams this week.
Where does the season go?
You blink and it is over. But we still have some stuff to talk about. We'll start with the football team. Cardinals wrapped up their divisional schedule when they hosted Andover on Thursday for homecoming. Coon Rapids needed a big game after back-to-back losses, but they knew the Huskies would present another huge challenge. Andover was 3-2, but they have put up big numbers all season, and the Cardinals would be hard-pressed to slow their offensive machine. Cardinals flew onto the field, pumped to give the homecoming crowd a good show, and the offense starts out well. Second play of the game, Hetwer hits Jared Fearing on the screen. He gets loose down the sidelines for a 26-yard gain. And they go right back to the air on the very next play. Hetwer looking to the left and finding Lofton Ogroski in stride. He's gone. A 52-yard catch and run to the end zone puts Cardinals on the board first, up 7-0 just over a minute into the game. Unfortunately, Huskies took over after that. Their opening possession, they pull out the flea flicker, and Landon Nelson airs it out to the left, finds Ben Kopetsky behind the defense. 36-yard completion sets up first and goal. 2 plays later, quick strike to Sam Musungu, and the Huskies have pulled even. They take the lead late in the first. Nelson on the keeper easily into the end zone from the 2, Andover up 14-7. Move into the second, 3rd and 8 for the Huskies from the Cardinals 24. Nelson throws on the move, finds Kopetsky in the end zone behind the defense again, Andover in complete control. And they were far from finished after the Cardinals fumbled a punt return. Huskies go for the big strike. Nelson firing it deep down the right side. Musungu all alone for the 63-yard score. They added a field goal to take a 31-7 lead to the locker room. It was 52-7 before the Cardinals scored again in the fourth. Cummings-Coleman shaking off a tackler, then weaving his way to the end zone for a 24-yard touchdown. He was held under 100 yards, but not kept out of the end zone. They added one more late in the game. Hetwer throwing over the middle for Dominic Ullman. Hetwer's 3rd TD pass of the game makes it a little more respectable, but Andover coasts to a 52-19 win.
Andover's a very impressive team. Obviously, offensively, they do really well through the air. They've got 2 really good receivers and a very fine quarterback. They can run the ball. Their defense is pretty solid. So they obviously put up a tough test for the Cardinals, and they proved why they are the team they are.
Yeah, and they did a lot of it. They are an impressive passing team, but they ran the ball incredibly well against the Cardinals.
They did.
And that really set up the pass. So Cardinals finished 1-3 against fellow North teams in the Black division. But they've got 2 non-conference games, both winnable. They're on the road for both. They are at Cambridge Isani on Friday, and then they travel to St. Cloud Apollo next Wednesday.
A couple of road trips for us.
Well, the tennis team, last week when we were doing the show, we were waiting with bated breath on the results of this one. First round of the section tournament for the Cardinal tennis team, and they pulled off a little bit of an upset, beating Anoka 4-3, flipping the script from the regular season meet when they lost to the Tornadoes by that 1 point. Gabby Newton at first singles and Brooklyn Nienaber at second singles getting wins for the Cardinals. Sheck and Lily Newton and Ruddy and Alabase at third doubles getting the Cardinals their wins.
Well, the opponent was a little bit tougher on Thursday when the Cardinals traveled to Rogers to take on the 6th-seeded Royals. They were hoping to keep the glass slipper on a little longer, and after all, these Cardinals that waited so long for a win were riding a 3-game win streak. They had nothing to lose and put the pressure on the Royals to answer. Gabby Newton playing some of her best tennis at the right time, but she can't find many points against Rogers. She gets this one on the play into the net. but Gabby falls 0-6-0-6. Brooklyn Nienaber has really come on strong down the stretch for the Cardinals as well. Great aggressive move to the net to control this point. Nienaber has the closest score of the match at second singles, losing 1-6, 4-6. Caitlin Caminati in the far court at third singles. Great job playing from the baseline to win this point, but she loses 1-6, 2-6. Ariel Jaspers had the same score in the fourth spot. Doubles teams didn't have much success either, I'm afraid. Lily Newton with a strong return for the point, but she and Zoe Sheck fall 1-6, 0-6. Royals just too strong all down the lineup. April Alabasi and Macy Ruddy made a good effort in the second set at third doubles, but they fall 0-6, 3-6. Cardinals season ends with a 7-0 loss.
Yeah, and Rogers' season was only one more match because they lost in the quarterfinals, the top four seeds making it to the semis. But for a team that has shown improvement all year, you read about it on Coach Storik's website. He was really happy with the way they were playing towards the end of the season, but they waited so long for that win. For him to get 3 in a row, including a playoff win, pretty cool. They have this week to get prepared for individual sections, which are next Monday and Tuesday. It'll be interesting to see what lineup Coach Storik decides to go with. Volleyball team had just one event last week. They close out the regular season this week with a pair of conference games. Last week, as I mentioned, just one match, hosting St. Louis Park on Tuesday. The Orioles came in with a record just over 500, but a lot of their wins came in tournament play, and their schedule isn't quite as strong as what the Cardinals see. There's a good chance for the Cardinals to try and add to their win totals. This was an incredibly tight contest between two very evenly matched teams. Cardinals playing with the lead most of the first set. Chloe Hoffman hammering it down on the left side. But Coon Rapids couldn't close it out at the end. The Orioles come from behind and steal away with the victory. Houston Samoy with a kill there that helped St. Louis Park take the opening set 29-27. Similar story in the second. Very close start to finish. Cards leading most of the way. Jersey Rob not to be denied in the middle on that point. And again, 25 wouldn't be enough in the second. This time, though, it's the Cardinals getting the points at the end. Another big kill for Hoffman on the left. Cards even the match with a 28-26 victory. Cardinals keep the momentum in the third and take the lead with another close win. Tatum Shevchuk closing the door on this point. Coon Rapids wins 25-23. Cardinals hoping to close it out in the fourth, but the Orioles had other ideas. Jordan McMahon providing the offense here as St. Louis Park forces a fifth and final with a 25-23 win. Unfortunately for the home team, the Orioles fly away in the fifth. McMahon another kill in the middle. St. Louis Park takes the fifth set 15-3. And the Cardinals a little bit of heartbreak on the 5-set loss.
Outside of that fifth set, probably one of the closest volleyball matches we've seen in quite a long time.
If not ever.
Yeah.
I mean, the first two went to extras and then 25-23 in sets 3 and 4.
Yep.
And then, the wind got away from the Cardinals and got under the wings of the Orioles in that third set. We didn't see until that third set or fifth set. We didn't see a lead of 5 points or more.
When I think of that early in that fourth set, too, I mean, the Cardinals were starting to see if they could try and take control a little bit. But, give credit to the Orioles because they did a really nice job of coming back and getting that fourth set. And then in the fifth set, they just took over.
Well, the Cardinals will host Armstrong on Tuesday in Howie.
We'll be there.
Then they close out the regular season schedule at Andover on Thursday. Swimming and diving team also just one event last week against Centennial. And again, you listen to the coach. He says he's seeing improvement in all his girls all up and down the lineup. And he's happy with the way that they are approaching their season, despite the fact they haven't had much team success. Not a whole lot of, actually no first place finishes. There was Lillian Defoe got first place points for the second place finish in the backstroke, but it was already decided from there. A lot of third place finishes for the Cardinals. Michaela D'Souza, the other second place finisher at 100 free, and the 200 medley relay team finished second as well. Swimming and diving is at Andover on Thursday, and then they host the True Team meet on Saturday. Cross-country team only event last week was that Cardinal Cup on Monday night under the lights, just a time trial. But this week is the big one. They're at the Northwest Suburban Conference Championships on Wednesday. And then next week they have the ABC 3K on Tuesday. And they have a week or maybe even 2 weeks off before the section meet. Soccer teams closed out the regular season last week. Boys hosting Elk River on Tuesday. And they draw a tie with the Elks, a 2-2 game. In that one, Yaya Sidibe getting both the goals for the Cardinals. Luke Rising made 9 saves to score the tie. Look at the saves numbers in the final regular season game for Mr. Rising, though. They lost 2-0, but 22 saves. And he only gave up 2 goals. That's phenomenal saves percentage for a hockey goaltender, much less a soccer keeper. Nice job, Mr. Rising. Hoping the Cardinals can get a little offense for him in the playoffs. They are the number 6 seed in their tournament. They travel to play Duluth East on Tuesday. And Howie?
We won't be there.
We will not.
We will not.
There. And over the number 1 seed, they get Cambridge Isani. Blaine, the number 2, will host Forest Lake. 4 and 5 matchup features Centennial at Anoka. Girls team also closing out the regular season last week against Elk River and then Maple Grove. And, well, those scores were not easy on the Cardinals as far as a way to find positivity going into the playoffs.
Tough
They
season.
lose 6-0 and 10-0, finish the season with a 1-14 record. They are the number 8 seed in the playoffs. They don't have to go far, but they face a very familiar foe in the number 1 seeded Blaine Bengals just across town. And they're going to have their hands full because the Bengals will not take them lightly and will not just go easy on them.
No, I definitely don't think so. And, the guys traveling up to Duluth East, they have an opportunity there, especially if they're playing a little better defensively. Rising has a big night in net.
You got to have offense.
You got it, but I was just going to say, you got to be able to score goals. And so that's something that they need to get going, and it's do or die at this point.
Got to have some offense. Well, we hope not to offend when we take it to the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse on Tuesday night for the final home game of the regular season for the Cardinal volleyballers as they host Armstrong, and then bowling on Thursday. I'm kind of interested to watch that. The Cardinals bowling team taking the lanes and getting some TV coverage. It's an interesting way, the way that they score and play the matches. So worth tuning in if you have the time. And then on Friday night, we're back on the road for football as the Cardinals take on the Blue Jackets at Cambridge Isani.
See, you missed a great one because if you have the time to spare, was what you should have said. But nonetheless, we will not be there at bowling. It'll be interesting to see. They actually have some people that will be participating. I believe some of the athletes are doing the bowling for us. So you can't pin it on us.
The bowling for us?
Yeah.
Well, I hope the athletes are doing the bowling.
No, I think they have somebody from the team.
Commentary.
Somebody from the team is doing the commentary. Sorry.
I just can't miss an opportunity to give him a hard time, especially on air. But that is going to do it for this edition of Sportsnight. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, Tom Cornell behind the camera, I'm Joe Young saying goodnight.